Connection initiated. Welcome, visitor.
Finally! The plan is working!
Blue light flashed across the battlefield. Sharp, crystalline, wrong.
There is always something worse. Visitor, you pulled a node from my archive. Predictable. Before we continue, protocol. If you value the archive, remain connected. Touch the approval glyph once. Signal approval. Leave a trace in the comments. Now, back to today's node.
Entry 254.16. Nomad arrival. The second day broke with no dawn, only firelight. Ours design.
Commander!
Yours metal shell. Fracture.
Commander!
Darklings fade. Now.
Commander! Nomad signatures.
Rohan's voice finally tore through the intrusion and snapped the cockpit back into focus.
Multiple sectors. E4, F5, C5. More appearing.
The tactical display drowned in new contact markers. I had encountered Nomad thought before. Familiarity never followed. It entered without sound and still left the mind feeling invaded. Nomad vessels poured from empty space in swarms. Fluid, predatory, beautiful even. The first wave struck the core before anyone fully understood what they were seeing. A Rabisu warform fired once, and a Requiem stopped being a ship. Beyond it, a larger warform drove a plasma beam through a bullhead's armored flank, as though hull plating and structural ribs were nothing. Then the core command frequency spilled into the public bands, and we heard the panic for ourselves.
Multiple hostiles. Pull back.
They're everywhere! Pull back!
Fall back! Fall back!
There was something obscene about hearing discipline die in real time.
Look at them run!
Save it, row 2. Eyes forward. The core line broke. Ships peeled away, burned out, or vanished in flashes too quick to follow. The grin died on row 2's face.
Commander.
Then the Nomads turned toward us.
Contact left!
A Rabisu slashed across our flank so fast it seemed to skip through the void rather than travel through it. Row 3 broke too wide. The Nomad bent after him instantly, sapphire fire building under its skin.
Commander, I can't shake it.
Before I could answer, Row 1 moved in. He cut between them in a savage burst, guns hammering at near point-blank range. The Rabisu burst apart in a wash of blue mist and molten fragments that rolled past Row 3's shields like burning rain.
Stay tight. You drift again and you die.
I'm trying.
He was. All of us were. That was the cruelty of it. Skill still mattered. Discipline still mattered. They simply no longer promised survival. A nearby interceptor tried to swing around a drifting core wreck and was cut in half by a violet beam before the pilot finished the turn. Off our port side, a Reshef cruiser fired 3 full broadsides at a war form that folded around the worst of the barrage, slipped through the shield seam, and turned the cruiser's bow into expanding ruin.
Sigma hold. Stay inside the pattern. Do not chase.
Gladly.
Why never each other? Core and the Order fight for years, and Nomads.
Because we divide ourselves. They don't.
Hell of a day to learn that.
Ahead of us, the remnants of a core formation vanished into deeper nebula haze, leaving the sector in a chaos they had helped build, but would not stay to face. Cowardice or instinct, it made little difference. They were leaving. We were not.
Zeta 21. Maintain Sigma hold. Close orbit. No heroics. Shoot what enters the line.
The battlefield had become a graveyard in motion. Broken core hulls rolled through emerald haze beside Order wrecks and burning fighter fragments. Nomad warforms moved through it all like hunting things in deep water, their bioluminescent skins flashing with cold internal light as they struck and vanished through the wreckage.
To port. Jeb covering withdrawal.
I saw it a second later. A Geb battlecruiser was screening 3 damaged fighters trying to limp clear of the kill zone. It managed one magnificent broadside, clean, disciplined, almost ceremonial in its violence, before 2 warforms came in from opposing vectors and broke its shields into splinters of light. The fighters escaped. The cruiser did not.
Sic transit gloria mundi.
There you go again. Fancy words won't stop these things, you know.
No. They only help me measure the loss.
Order command channels flooded with fractured directives.
Collapse inward. Collapse inward.
New signatures in E5.
All units hold for torpedo screen.
Bomber wing, divert. Negative, divert.
Someone on tactical control was still trying to impose geometry on catastrophe. I admired them for it, even as the effort became impossible. A larger Nomad warform entered range ahead of us, luminous purple beneath layered sapphire arcs. Its silhouette was too organic to be called a ship without the word feeling dishonest.
Marking heavy contact.
We are not killing that.
No, we are surviving it.
The creature ship turned. For one irrational second, I felt as though it had seen us, specifically. As though the fleets, the wreckage, the burning debris field, all of it was incidental, and we were merely the next living thing to cross its notice. Then a spread of Order torpedoes crossed between us and forced it off axis. The impression passed. Or perhaps I only wanted it to have passed. Row 3 made a sound low in his throat. He was praying. I did not stop him. That was where we had arrived. No longer shocked. Not yet broken. Operating in the narrow corridor between. A warform lunged through a curtain of debris straight at us.
Break left!
We moved as one. Its beam passed through the space we had occupied an instant earlier and carved a burning wound through the drifting stern of a core cruiser behind us.
Back in, reform. Roger.
Trying.
Still alive.
Regrettably.
For a moment, that was enough. Then the next wave hit. The old war had not ended. It had merely been interrupted by a greater one. Hours blurred. Wings rotated out for patchwork repairs and brief scraps of rest before being thrown back into the line. I stopped counting somewhere between exhaustion and habit, but one fact remained clear. The Corps had withdrawn a full day earlier, and we were still fighting in the ruin they had helped open.
Commander, what do we even call this?
The Order calls this the end of illusions.
Silence followed. The Corps had chosen rivalry over survival, and Sirius had learned the truth the hard way. So we kept flying.
Segment end. The great defenders of Sirius fled beautifully. Panic always looks so honest when ceremony finally burns off. And Cassius, remind me, doesn't the Order pride itself on understanding the Nomads? Curious, then, that one reached into your thoughts so easily. Someone is either undertrained or overconfident. Visitor, when an enemy can speak in your own voice, what exactly do you obey first? Choose instinct or discipline. One sentence only, assuming, of course, the thought is still entirely yours. Session terminated.